Motif Project by Maddy Lewis. My motif was women, and in Invisible Man, white women and black men encounter the same struggle with invisibility. White men look down upon both of them, and neither group is seen as the equal of the white man. However, the women in the novel are portrayed as oblivious to their situation, yet we know they face the same struggle because Invisible Man describes them as suffering from identity and invisibility issues, which is exemplified by how few women are included in the novel and how even fewer of those women have names or character traits that do not revolve around superficial things, such as their appearance. My first visual is a picture of a woman who doesn't have a face, because the women in Invisible Man are for the most part nameless and they do not have an identity that goes beyond the men in their life or their appearance. My second visual is what I picture Sybil to look like, and Sybil is characterized by her physical appearance of chestnut brown hair, womanly curves, and her red robe. These characterizations symbolize I.M.'s lust and her sexuality in the novel. My first example comes from the Battle Royale, and this quote exemplifies how both black men and the women in this novel are sources of entertainment for the white man. Women are looked at as objects that are judged based on superficial qualities such as their appearance, which is exemplified by how the white men treat the stripper at the Battle Royale. My second example comes from True Blood's story, and in this quote, it is the first time that True Blood acknowledges that his daughter is a woman instead of the little girl he previously viewed her as. He compares her to his wife and mentions the boy she has been seeing and is seemingly jealous of his daughter's relationship with this boy. The way in which True Blood looks at his daughter reinforces the view that women are only seen as sex objects, and their sole purpose in life is to please men. This shows that all of the men in the novel don't understand that women are human beings who have viewpoints and are more than just objects of their affection. My third example comes from Ross the Exhorter, and Ross the Exhorter presents a view of white women that is quite different from the usual way white women are perceived by black men. Instead of praising white women and being afraid of them because they are seen as the white man's property, Ross sees women as something that will stunt the black man in his search for freedom and will keep him involved in the white man's game, pushing him further away from equality and freedom. My fourth example comes from the time I.M. spent downtown and his encounters with the women there. I.M. does not want to become a stereotype of the black servant that sleeps with the wife of a white man, but he is overcome by and gives in to his desires when he goes back to the white woman's apartment. Even I.M., who suffers from the same issues with invisibility as the women in the novel, does not seem to see women as individuals with brains and ideas, but instead as objects of his desire. My fifth example comes from I.M.'s encounter with Sybil, who is the wife of a powerful man that I.M. hopes to get information from. I.M. is placed in a unique situation during his encounter with Sybil because white women have been taught to fear black men by their husbands, yet they are in a position of power over the black men because of the color of their skin, which makes the black men equally, if not more, afraid of them. Therefore, both groups, black men and white women, are made to be invisible and seen as less than the white man, because despite their similarities, they still fear each other. My sixth example comes yet again from the Battle Royale, but it shows I.M.'s viewpoint on the differences between how black men and white men objectify women. While the black men at the Battle Royale are afraid to look at the naked woman, the white men stare openly and unapologetically. They view her as a source of entertainment rather than a human being. This demonstrates women's invisibility and lack of equality in a white male-dominated society. I believe that the theme that best represents the motif of women in the novel Invisible Man is identity. And in Invisible Man, combining the ideologies that are forced upon you by others and how you view yourself forms your identity. And the motif women represents this because women are not characterized in a way that allows them to form a distinct sense of self because the white man treats them as objects, and they are seemingly unaware of the implications of this treatment. Therefore, they remain invisible and unable to gain their own sense of self and their own sense of freedom because they are blind to the truth and unable to wake up and realize how poorly they are treated. And without this realization, they are unable to make a change and develop their own identity, so they remain nameless and faceless, much like how I Am feels at the end of the novel when he emerges from the hole in the ground and people don't seem to see him, much less recognize him as a human being.